We're pregnant! Woo! Man, most of you, some of you may have already known, but most of you don't know. And now you know.
Hopefully you've seen our pregnancy announcement music video, which we had so much fun making. But you know, a lot of people have been asking us about the journey and like, how did it happen? You should know how it happened. I'm just kidding. But for real though, it has been a real long.
It's been a crazy journey. Yeah, we were married almost 12 years ago in 2008, and about 5-6 months in, we just started to feel a turn towards getting pregnant sooner than later, which is a story in and of itself. I wanted to get pregnant. Melody wanted to wait. She wanted to keep me all to herself.
I wanted to wait at least a year. And he's like, no, let's have kids now.
Just kidding.
And God touched my heart, and we got pregnant with Jael.
In Puerto Rico.
Like.
Right away.
Like that.
It was awesome.
Yes.
And then 9 months later, we had our baby girl, Jael.
Yes.
March 16, 2010. It was awesome. It was great. But it was very tumultuous to bring her into the world. It was like
3-day labor.
3 days at the hospital.
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Itself, we checked in, and on Sunday we had Jael on Tuesday. We went through all the stops. I mean, we wanted to have the baby natural, and by the end of it, we had the doctor come in and poke the water sac and did the epidural and tried to walk up and down, and not in particular order, and all of that. Eventually, we went ahead and had a C-section. And so my dear beloved was expired. I mean, wow, she was so tired, and but she was a trooper, brought our baby girl into the world. And so because of that whole experience, the doctors really encouraged us to let Melody's body heal for about 18 months. So a year and a half later, we could then start trying for another child. Well, we wasted no time.
You're a miracle looking for a place to happen. You have got all kinds of things locked up inside of you that are about to come forth for such a time as this.
To the day, no, just kidding. We went ahead and start trying to have another child.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, you know, I got pregnant with Jael so easily, I know I'm going to get pregnant again.
So we thought.
Yeah.
At that time, many of you know our precious daughter, Maria. She actually moved in and became a part of our family while Jael was only 6 months old.
Right.
So we were doing the family life thing with Jael and Maria, raising a baby girl and a young adult in our home. And many of you know about the crazy stories and experiences that we had at that time. And eventually, after the healing and the greater growing and just life experiences started to develop, her eyes were caught by a gentleman who's over there right now recording our show to you, right? And beautiful Anthony. And long story short, they got married. And Melody and I started thinking, well, maybe God was just holding back the opportunity for us to get pregnant again because he really wanted us to have our focus on her. I mean, yeah, we're totally believing maybe it's a spiritual thing. Mm-hmm. And it was. But it wasn't only a spiritual thing. We would come to find out that we would need to start investigating further as to why we were not able to get pregnant.
Well, in 2016, I went and got tested. You got tested. We want to make sure we were good.
We got everything working right. And you get tested, like STD tested.
What?
Because that would be unnecessary.
No, that's not what it is.
Just
we're gonna
because we teach that a lot. And so anyway, we got tested, and long story short, all of our parts were working right. I mean,
let me explain this part.
Okay.
Okay.
My boys were working. I just wanted that to be clear.
Oh my God. They were working. So we did this painful test that they tested my tubes to see if they were all clear, and they're like, your tubes are clear, your progesterone's a little low. I would say, why don't you go see a fertility specialist? And at the time, we did not have the funds for that. We did not have the time. We were traveling like crazy.
Ministry was pretty high at that season. We were traveling a lot in that year and the year afterward.
Yeah.
In fact, we had just joined Family Life.
Yeah.
And so this was actually our training year. The following year was our off the probation year, and we were traveling, and then we were doing other things with our ministry. And, we just didn't have that kind of health care at the time.
And the doctor said, maybe doing this test, maybe you're going to get pregnant. So I was like, we'll get pregnant. And then again, it's another year.
And another year. And another year. So finally, by last year, 2019 in April, I got a great job with Becoming a Man. This is the program that I work for out of Youth Guidance, and great program with working with inner city youth. I'm a counselor for some boys, and anyway, the company comes with great benefits, and it started to just kind of take effect right away. And toward the end of the year 2019, last year, Melody, then I don't know why did you want to go check?
Well, when the Lord called me to quit grip, I really felt him say, focus now on your fertility. Oh. And so I felt that release. I had more time, and I was praying, went to the doctor. They said, here's 13 possible fertility specialists. And I'm like, Lord, I don't know which one to pick.
Yeah. And
started praying, and then I felt just the direction of God saying, keep this weekend open for a friend of mine's birthday. And I hadn't got invited to her birthday yet. And I was like, oh, okay, God. So I kept my schedule open. And then I get a text, hey, we're going to do this event for my friend Erica. And I'm like, man, the Lord told me that. So I went to this birthday, sit next to a friend of mine. Her name's Gabrielle. And shared with her the journey. And she's like, I have the doctor for you. Her name is Dr. Molo. And I'm like, I just felt like I knew, like, that's my doctor. Like, it was just this, like, ding.
Yeah.
So, go be with this doctor. She's delbon.com.
Oh, yeah.
I will give you her info if you're looking. And I love it. She's like, Melody, we're going to run tons of tests, and we're going to figure out what's wrong. We're going to figure out why you're not getting pregnant, and we're going to get you pregnant. And I'm like, yes. And so we just, entering that was...
Well, tell them about financially the benefit because of
oh my goodness. So they had all these questions like, this is what you're going to ask your insurance company. I call, I'm like, these are the questions, do you do this, do you do IVF, do you do this surgery, do you do this? And they're like, yep, your insurance covers 80%, 80%. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus.
Wow. So, because of the new job and the new benefits, we were in prime position to go real hard and investigate why we were not able to conceive, and financially we were able to do it. So it was the right timing. So when I said earlier that it was also spiritual, we did not have the physical and financial means at the time.
Right.
But now was the time. Things had slowed down. Melody's not working. I have a new job. The benefits kicked in. We are able to do it. And it's so strange because as Melody is investigating into these things and being spoken into with great encouragement and great hope and looking forward, and the doctor's like, we will get you pregnant, kind of a thing. Slowly, I was actually dipping the opposite direction from about October of last year because of some prophetic words that I had been holding on to for more than a decade about children, specifically about a boy and a girl. I just started to believe maybe I missed it, or maybe I didn't hear right. my faith was firm in the Lord, but maybe not so much in myself, which I didn't really know how to manage that, because interestingly enough, the Lord so intricately connects himself to us. So it was a little weird. And this doubting led to just deeper levels of distraction and depression. And I just lacked the hope. I didn't want to get my hopes up, which is the antithesis of faith. So as Melody's getting excited and coming home day after day with newer reports, I'm just reserving my heart. I'm like, okay, all right, well, that's cool. Because in my mind, I kept thinking, we'll see. And I didn't realize that I was growing darker and darker. So fast forward till about January, and we are now about to investigate deeper what needs to be done with Melody. And she's visited the doctor a few times now, and they say that they find something. What did they find?
So they found blockage in my uterus, and they said your eggs are good.
So that we had to do another test.
Yeah.
I just want you guys to know that the 2 times I took the test, they said that it was above average. So
my goodness. Anyways,
My boys were working. They were working
overtime.
Oh yeah!
So anyway, what they found was blockage in my uterus, and it was a polyp that was blocking my uterus.
Yeah, polyp.
They said we're gonna do a hysteroscopy, and it'll be like a 4 to 5 day recovery, and then we're gonna see if you get pregnant, and then we'll go from there. And then if you can't, then we'll look at what else we're gonna do.
Right, IVF or all those other things.
Yeah.
So I mean, in essence, there was a blockage. It was a polyp. Her tubes were working right. Her girls were working right. My guys were working right. But there was this unforeseen blockage, and we had to go through the process of removing it. Had a little surgery. What'd you call it? A hysteroscopy.
Hysteroscopy. Yes.
And
got that done.
Then we go on a trip to do another family life marriage retreat, and I'm like, God, I got to get right with you. I don't know what's going on. My heart is really, Melody's telling me these things are happening. I'm not rejoicing. So long story short, we just pray and seek the Lord for the whole day. We went there early, and I had a beautiful encounter with the Lord, and this heaviness just lifted up off of me, and we both were now on the same page of excitement about the possibilities. We come back and we get busy, but then a couple weeks into that, thinking we're going to keep visiting the doctor, and COVID.
That ain't nobody but the devil.
Yes.
COVID breaks down, and everybody's walking around like this.
So I get the call.
Death is in the air, and nobody wants to talk to nobody.
Video chat with my fertility specialist, and she's like, Melody, I'm so sorry. I know you're right in the middle of this process. We did the surgery. It was a success. So let's just hope you get pregnant on your own. And then May, we'll check in again and see what we could do. So I'm like, okay.
So yeah, they're telling us we're going to have to wait 3 months to figure out the next deal. And within that time, hopefully we get pregnant.
Yeah, so first month, get my cycle. Second month, I'm a day late. And then 2 days late. And then 3 days late. And
you're not typically late.
No. And so the third day, I'm like, I think I'm going to go take a test. And so I don't tell him anything. I already knew what he was dealing with. I was like, I don't want to say something, and then it's not happening. So go get the test. Oh my God. And it's positive. And I'm like, am I seeing this right? Like, is it, this been 8.5 years. I'm like, do I see pregnant? Like, I see pregnant,
Tell them, how many tests did you take?
I took 2 because I was like, no, I took 3.
You took 3. She took 3 tests.
Yes, I was like, I've seen this this is right. So I couldn't hold it in. I had a song that I wanted to play for him, And I knew that this was the song that when I got pregnant, because I believed God, we're gonna get pregnant, that this would be the song. So he walks in the living room. He had a rough day. He got locked out. It was a rough day. We don't have to go into details. And then he's like, what do you want to show me? And I'm like, I want to show you this video. Sit down. And the song by Toby.
The song is called Ode to Fat.
It's a pregnancy announcement song. He doesn't know anything.
I have no clue what it is.
He's like, sees Ode to Fat, and he's just like, what is this about?
I'm like, babe, I know. I've been working on it. I will work harder to lose weight. Like, you don't have to sing me a song about fat. So I'm sitting there like, is this a joke? I'm watching this, and there are no subtitles. We like subtitles.
I didn't want to do that because it would give it away.
So I have to like close my eyes and listen to the lyrics and hear what's going on.
I've tried it, and I'm glad I failed, and we prevailed, 'cause now my baby is having my baby. My baby is having my baby.
Are you serious? What does it mean? I don't know how to read it.
2-3 means either 4 or 5 weeks. I want to take one more, but I want to be with you.
And in life, real love can be a challenge. But when it's real,
And all of y'all saw me weeping and losing my marbles and but it was such a sweet
emotional
announcement. You did a beautiful job. That was very memorable, and
yes. Woo.
Apparently it touched a bunch of y'all. I'm getting calls, and I got a message from my boy in Arizona yesterday. What's up, John? And he looked like he was about to cry. So
yes,
everybody's weeping now. Good job, babe. Good job.
Thanks. And so, you know, every step is a faith journey. So it was like we waited to announce at the 12th week, and so we started announcing to our friends. And
yes,
it's so cute.
We love this. We love Melody loves gifts. You know she loves recording gifts.
Oh my God. What does this mean?
Everybody was just rejoicing with us. It was so beautiful just to see everyone's joy, because they know how long we've been praying.
Yeah.
And that verse, you know, hope deferred
Makes the heart sick.
but a promise fulfilled or a desire fulfilled
It's like the tree of life.
is a tree of life. And that's really what we have felt through this whole journey. And so yeah, we just wanted to share our journey with you, what God has done. I am about to be 5 months pregnant. We're due January
9,
2021.
which is crazy.
Woo!
So, you know, we wanted to share this story firstly because there's many of you who've been following Melody and I and just in tune with a lot of the things that we've been teaching regarding healthy relationships and marriages. You're involved with our ministry. We've connected on some level, and many of you do know this marriage journey, and we wanted to share it with you. But we also wanted to encourage you. I have shared very openly how frustrating and difficult this has been. And I've had a number of people share with me, like, God is inviting you to taste some of the experiences that the men of God and the women of God in Scripture have even tasted. I mean, imagine Abraham being told, I'm going to make you a father of many nations. And he doesn't give him a timeline. God, we know the timeline when we're reading Scripture. God doesn't give Abraham a timeline. So year after year after year, 2.5 decades, 25 years, midway through, having the son with Hagar, Ishmael, and things of this nature, like, I tasted that. It's only been 8.5 years, but to taste, holding on to hope. Many of you may not know this particular part of the story, but I was in Alabama ministering at another Family Life event. Melody wasn't there this time, when I had a real heart-to-heart with God in the elevator going down to preach for the last time on that Sunday. And I just said, listen, I think maybe I missed it. And I'm okay with being wrong. You are infallible. I'm fallible. And I give it up. I'm not going to hold on to this anymore. I release it to you. I got to guard my heart about this. And I'm not going to get angry with you. And I just let it go. No sooner than I got to the bottom of the elevator and started walking to the venue, that someone with great zeal, who had shared earlier just our story in general, prayed with fervency. And the Lord used this man to give faith back to me. He just gave it right back to me. And I can imagine times and times again where Abraham was like ready to, like, okay, like, all right, we're supposed to go through Ishmael. And God visits him and it's like, hey, he's renewing the covenant. And like, look up into the stars. Like, he's renewing the covenant with him. And it's like, oh, but please just take Ishmael. And he's like, I'm going to bless Ishmael, but I'm going to do what I'm saying I'm going to do. And it's kind of like what happened. And then later that day, I called Melody just to check in with her. And she tells me that at house church that day, 2 women in our house church, Millie and Jasenia, hi, they also just prophesied to her that by this time next year, which was last October, she would either be pregnant or with child. Guess what? We shall be pregnant with the child in October of this coming year, praise the Lord. And God, like, I sometimes will come to the end of our faith about something, but God's promises remain. Yeah. Man, I get emotional. And he gave it right back to me. And even though I wrestled to hold it, he was still faithful. And so if there's something that God has promised you, the salvation of a loved one, a son or a parent, financial needs, a breakthrough, a job opportunity, a ministry opportunity, a collegiate or school opportunity, anything, ministry opportunity. I don't know what specific things, because we believe that the Lord still speaks. But everything that he would speak and everything that he would promise, it's going to stand on the word of God. Yeah. And if you have the word of God on your side, if you have community bearing witness with you, and yet you're still finding it hard to hold on to hope for something that God has said to you, I hope that this has been encouragement, because I can tell you straight up, I wrestled with this. And actually on another level about something else regarding our pregnancy, I'm still wrestling. But at the same time, God is being so faithful that I can lean on him even when I'm starting to doubt myself. And I can't tell you it's been a perfect walk of faith, but he's been perfect walking with me. Mm-hmm. So I pray that's an encouragement to you guys. We wanted to just share with you our journey and why this is such a big deal. 8.5 years. And
just like our doctor said, like, we removed the block. Let's see if you get pregnant. And we did. Yeah. Like, we didn't need extra medications. We didn't need injections, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, God, like, you did it. You know what I mean? But I also wanted to share the fertility specialist part, because sometimes we feel like that's not really trusting the Lord.
Or maybe if you do have to go through some of the greater levels of IVF treatments and all that which entails, which we know a number of couples who've gone that way. The temptation can be that wasn't spiritual, that wasn't God. You had to go through men or medicine. I don't agree with that.
Yeah, the Lord uses medicine, and the Lord uses our doctors with wisdom to see what's going on with our body. And so I've heard some women who have said, well, I've been praying, but I don't want to see a fertility specialist. Now, if the Lord is directing you to not see a fertility specialist, that's fine. But I just want to encourage you, be open to that and find out what's going on and see if there's something that can help you. And so
furthermore, because you could become a great witness to an industry that may not always get such great witnesses. Don't underestimate the natural things and how God often marries them with the heavenly things. He uses them both.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's our journey, and
keep us in prayer. We want a safe delivery, healthy baby. We're praying for a bigger car, and we're praying for a house.
Yeah, bigger car, bigger house. We need some upgrades. So please pray for some upgrades.
Yes.
I don't know. Should we tell them now what the gender is?